Good morning, students. Hope you are doing good and preparing well for your upcoming exams. So let's start with our lecture. So in today's lecture, we will be covering one of the most frequently asked topics, that is Cloze test. So what is a Cloze test? A Cloze test is an exercise or assessment test where the candidates are given a passage in which certain words or sentences are missing or to be changed in between. The candidates are required to fill in the blanks from the given options in a way that is in line with the flow and context of the whole passage. Fine. So is it clear? So the Cloze test topic can be considered one of the most important topics in the English language section. Be it a clerical level exam or officer level exam, the Cloze test questions account for around 5 to 10 marks. Only the level of questions differ from exam to exam. So basically, Cloze test is considered one of the easiest section and is a scoring section if practiced well. So in short, with a little effort and constant practice, you can even score full marks in this topic. Fine. Now, moving on, here are some tips to solve Cloze test. So first one is read thoroughly. So basically, you need to read the entire paragraph to understand the theme, tone, context and meaning of the text. Basically, to get an idea of the passage. Once the theme of the paragraph is clear, it becomes easy to fill in the blanks. Fine. Now, next is maintain the tone. The passage is usually written in a certain tone, for example, sometimes narrative, sometimes critical, sometimes sarcastic, sometimes humorous, and so on. So always make a right choice of a word. Pick words that fit in with the tone of the passage. If the sentence is in a positive tone, keep the tone positive. And if the sentence is negative, keep it in a negative tone. It is easy to understand the tone of the sentence by understanding the subject. Topics that showcase feelings of happiness, pride, admiration, achievement, success will have a positive tone, while topics showcasing loss, disgrace, failure, sadness, anger will have negative tones. There are some topics with a neutral tone such as reports. The candidate must maintain a neutral tone in such cases. Fine. Now, let us take an example. Write it down. His father blank in brackets touch him on his back in admiration as he told him about his promotion. So option 1 slapped, option 2 patted, option 3 hit. So what's the answer? So obviously the answer over here is option 2, that is patted. Patted is the most suitable word over here because it goes with the positive tone of the sentence. As you can see, the sentence is denoting a positive tone. His father is basically admiring him. He's happy about his promotion. That's why he patted him on his back in admiration as he told him about his promotion. Fine. So is it clear? Have you guys written it down? Now, moving on. Next is eliminate the wrong ones. Sometimes words are too close, so eliminating wrong choices can help. You will often come across a blank that has more than one correct option. So in that case, list out all these options and try them one by one. Use the one option that seems most fitting. Instead of getting confused, think of words that are appropriate not only to the given sentence but also fit the context of the entire passage. Clear? Now next, link the sentences together. Remember that it is a passage with sentences that are connected. Do not make the mistake of treating each sentence as an individual and fill in the blanks accordingly. Try to come up with logical connections that link up the sentences together, which will make the question easy to solve. Fine? So is it clear? Now, next is keywords or clues. Pay close attention to keywords or clues in the sentences before and after the given blank. Right? Now, moving on, next is the type of words to fill in. Now, look at the blanks carefully and assess the kind of words you have to fill in. Which part of the speech would it be? Would it be a noun, a pronoun, a verb, a preposition, a conjunction, or an article? Fine. Now, next,
Stay aware of the general terms.
a candidate must have good knowledge of the general terms used in different sectors. Newspapers are the best source to gain this knowledge. Fine. Next is build up your language skills. Now, in terms of general preparation, you can read and read as much as you can. The more you read, the better sense you will have of what word goes where. It will also help build up your vocabulary. Both these things will go a long way in helping you ace the cloze test. Fine. So keep these tips in your mind while solving the cloze test. Clear? Now moving on, let us solve a few questions based on the patterns asked in various competitive examinations. So basically I've picked paragraphs from newspaper articles, editorials and magazines. Generally, your cloze test questions asked in exams are formed in this manner only. Paragraphs asked are picked from magazines, newspaper articles and editorials, especially from the Hindu editorial section. In fact, the Hindu is very important for banking aspirants. It will help you in your RCs, cloze tests, descriptive writing and also in improving or you can say building your vocabulary. So please inculcate the habit of reading the Hindu newspaper daily and trust me, you will yourself see the difference. So now let's start. Here's the first type or pattern asked. I'll read out the instructions. In the following passage, there are blanks, each of which has been numbered. These numbers are printed below the passage and against each 5 words are suggested, one of which fits the blank appropriately. Fine. So here's the question. Try solving it on your own. So is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the paragraph. Despite its blank and inaccuracies in early iterations, there is no denying that artificial intelligence bracket AI is transforming our daily lives at an incredible pace, and most of the time the features and broadly speaking the again blank it offers are extremely useful. The reality is one of marginal gains in many areas, much like creating a good sports team. Over time, these gains add up rather than causing dash results everywhere. And this is especially the case within the energy industry. Some conversations in the energy industry suggest that AI can dash everything in one giant leap. The fact is, as a highly valuable additional factor, it can and will provide significant improvements, but it's unlikely to dash transform everything overnight. Fine. So let's start solving. Here's the first question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 1? So now, if you observe carefully, after blank 1, conjunction and is coming, and as we all know, words connected by and must be similar in type and tone. That is, if for example, is word 1 and here's word 2 connected by and, then if word 1 is positive, then word 2 will also be positive, or if word 1 is negative, then word 2 will also be negative. Or another scenario, if word 1 is an adjective, then word 2 will also be an adjective. Or if word 1 is plural, then word 2 will also be plural. Fine, so is it clear? So now coming back to the question, as you can see, inaccuracies is plural and a negative word. So it's a negative word and it is plural. Hence the word which would fit in blank 1 would also be plural and a negative word. So now let us analyze our options. Option A is singular, hence it is ruled out. Now option B and D both are positive words, hence they are also ruled out. Now option C is both plural and a negative word, hence it is the correct option because it's satisfying both the conditions. Now option E is fatuous. It means silly and pointless, stupid, or you can say foolish. So clearly it does not fit. It is irrelevant with respect to the context of the passage. Hence option C is our answer. Fine. Now next question is, which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 2? Now again, if you observe carefully, after blank 2, are is used. Are is what? It is a plural verb. So it implies that the word in blank 2 would also be plural. And as you can see, the tone is positive, hence the word will also be positive. Positive and plural. Fine. So now let us look at our options. Words in option A and C are positive, but they are singular, hence they are ruled out. Now option B is a negative word, hence it is also ruled out. Now option D is satisfying both the requirements, that is, it is plural also and a positive word also. Hence option D, that is benefits, is the correct answer. Fine. Now moving on to our next question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 3? So now coming back to the paragraph. So if you read the paragraph carefully, it is clear that option A fits perfectly and other options are irrelevant with respect to the tone, meaning and context of the paragraph. Fine. Hence option A is our answer. Now moving on to our next question. Which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 4? So again, if you observe carefully, before blank 4, modal auxiliary can is used. Hence after it, you should use bare infinitive, that is base root form of the verb, that is verb's first form. Also on reading the paragraph, it is clear that the word which would fit in blank 4 would mean change or similar in meaning. Now coming back to the options, let's analyze them. Option A is irrelevant because extrapolate means to predict future outcomes based on known facts. So clearly it is ruled out. Next is pervasive. Pervasive means present or noticeable or felt throughout a place or thing. It is an adjective, but we need a verb. Hence, option B is not our answer. So it's also ruled out. Now, next is morph. It means to change or undergo transformation. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Morph is the appropriate word over here. Fine. Now, our next question is, which of the following word fits the blank labeled as 5? So, if you read the paragraph carefully, it is clear that option B, that is radically, fits perfectly, and all the other options are irrelevant with respect to the context, tone, and meaning of the paragraph. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Fine. Now, moving on, here's the next question. But there is a slight change in the pattern. Here, along with each blank in the passage, a word is given in brackets. We need to find the correct form of the given word that fits into the passage. Sometimes the provided word itself is the correct form of the word for the passage. Is it clear? Now, start solving. So, is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the passage. Tessa was very unhappy with her standard of living. Her dad went bankrupt a few years ago and hence her family was poor. All her clothes were shabby and old and they dash bracket look like they would again dash bracket tear any moment. She dash bracket envy the girls who wore pretty frocks to school. They would also bring tasty snacks to dash bracket eat during the break, while she always had to make do with plain bread and butter. One day she dash bracket ball her eyes out in her room because she couldn't take it anymore when suddenly her mother entered. So now, here's the first question. Which is the correct form of the verb that should come in blank 1? So, on reading the passage carefully, notice that verbs like was and were are used before, hence the passage is written in past tense. So, clearly most of the verbs will be in the simple past tense or other forms of past tense. So, here the simple past tense of the verb look, which is looked, would fit in the blank. Hence, option A is the correct option. Other options are wrong as they make the sentence grammatically incorrect. So, is it clear? Now, next question. Which is the correct form of the verb that should come in blank 2? So, if you observe carefully, before blank 2, modal auxiliary would is used. Hence, after it, you should use bare infinitive, that is base form of the verb, that is verb's first form. Hence, the base form of the verb tear is tear itself. Hence, no change is required. The word provided after the blank is itself the correct form. Hence, option E is the correct answer choice. Fine. Now, moving forward, next question is, which is the correct form of the verb that should come in blank 3? So, on reading the passage carefully, it is obvious that we have to use the simple past tense of the verb envy, which is envied. Hence, coming back to the options, hence option B is the correct option. Other options are wrong as they make the sentence grammatically incorrect. Fine. Now, next question is, which is the correct form of the verb that should come in blank 4? So, again, if you observe carefully, before blank 4, to is used. The word to is frequently used with the infinitive. Infinitive is the verb in its basic form. Remember, to plus verb's first form. This is your infinitive, right? Hence, we have to use the base form of the verb eat, which is eat itself. eat is your verb's first form. Hence, option D is the correct option. Fine. Now, next question. Which is the correct form of the verb that should come in blank 5? So, again, on reading the passage, it is clear that we have to use the past continuous tense of the verb ball. That is, was bowling. Past continuous tense is used to describe an action which was in progress when another action took place. For example, they were sleeping when the thief entered the room. So here also, Tessa was crying in her room when suddenly her mother entered. This past continuous tense will be used. Hence, coming back to the options, option A is the correct answer. Other options are grammatically incorrect. So fine, is it clear? So that's it for today. See you guys in the next lecture. Till then, take care and study hard. Thank you.